Alright, what's up guys? So, we are at the shop right now and I have some bad news about the drift stang. So after I came back from my recovery and I made it to the shop, I tried to run the Mustang and it didn't run, and I was like, okay, this is weird. And it just kept making like a clicking noise as if the starter wasn't doing anything. So, you know, I checked to see if the starter was okay, checked to see if the battery was dead. Everything was good. Put a bar, here, hold on. I put a bar on the crank pulley to try and spin it, and it didn't spin, and I was like, oh, okay. Maybe it spins the other way. And then I was like, wait a minute, I've timed this engine like 1,000 times. I know it spins this way. So like I took the bar and I rotated the other way, and I'm like, oh, okay, it spins. And as I was rotating it back, I heard something inside the engine drop and hit the oil pan. And I was like, uh-oh. So something went wrong. I don't know what, I don't know how, but what we are gonna do today is we are going to take the intake off again, take the valve covers off again to see if anything's missing from the top. If nothing is missing from the top, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the engine out, and because you can't really get the oil pan off anyways unless you basically lift the engine a whole bunch, and if we're doing that, we might as well take it out and refresh some stuff on it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull all that stuff off. We're going to check to see if anything's missing on the top. If nothing's missing, then we're going to have to pull the engine out and just start looking at it and see what the damage is. And I don't know if if something happened while I was away, or maybe just from it being like, maybe when we ran it with no oil it caused damage, and just from the cold something happened and just gave out. I have no idea, but that's what we're gonna try and figure out today. I'm gonna rip it apart and do that. I already took out the rad and the fan because I had to get the bar in there and stuff. But what I have to do is the front wheels aren't on tight, so I got to tighten those. I got to roll it back so that we can get the cherry picker in case we have to, well, we don't have to pull it either way. Get the cherry picker in, and then we're gonna have to drain the tranny, drop that, or drop the exhaust first, drop the tranny, pull the engine out, and then just start digging into it, making sure everything's okay. And I'm actually surprised, so I fit this whole stack of tires inside the street stang, and it actually fit, I think the 6, and I just realized I have 2 stacks of 6 and then 1 stack of 4, and these are all tires for next year. And then I have these that are rims, and it's 6. So hopefully if things go well with this, we can go to a whole bunch of events and burn all these tires and do all that fun stuff. But we got to work on this first. I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's just get into it. Alright, so as you can see, moved it quite a ways back, jacked it up on all 4 corners so she's in the air right now. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to drain the tranny fluid, the engine oil, and the coolant, and then as that stuff is draining and in between that stuff, I'm going to take off the hood so that the cherry picker has more room, but mostly so that it's out of the way and we have some more light and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll move on to taking apart actually what I'll do is I'll do all that. I'll take the intake and the valve covers off because you guys have seen me do that 100 times now in like 4 consecutive videos, so I'll just do that. Alright, so all the fluids are drained now. Coolant, tranny fluid, engine oil. The top end is apart. Ignore this little bit of milkshake. I got water in there when I was taking this off and it was still draining, but it doesn't look like any of the lifters left the party, so they're still there. like even the back ones. We're not missing any rockers. I mean, I don't know how the rockers would leave the valve cover anyways and go down into the engine. So there's nothing missing there, which worries me, because if there's nothing missing here, then that means one of the more important things is probably falling to the bottom of the engine. So that could be like oil pump, but I wasn't losing oil pressure though when it was running. It was still running at like, you know, 100%. So I don't know, we gotta see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop the exhaust and I am going to drop the drive shaft so that we can get ready to drop the tranny out. And then once the tranny's out, then this thing will be able to be pulled out. But before I go do any of that, I need to put my sweater on because a bunch of coolant sprayed all over me and now I'm wet and cold and freaking terrible. And this place isn't, well, as you can see, as from the gaps of insulation and no walls, it's pretty cold in here. And my little space heater doesn't really do much, but okay, I'm gonna stop complaining and just get that done. Alright, so I got the drive shaft out, I got the exhaust out, and all I run is basically off the headers and to an H-pipe. And the reason I do that is because, see up here they got these flanges to go onto the headers. These, because I kept getting caught on stuff, ended up bending and all that, and they flew off and half my exhaust fell off, so now all I run is this. But I mean, this has seen better days, definitely. Oh, maybe while it's out, cut that, weld that. Anyways, this is out. All I need to do now is drop the tranny, and then we are able to pull the engine out. And I just have to say, sorry, it's cold in here. Last week, no, not last week, 2 weeks ago, I went and I bought all new tools for the shop, and a new toolbox. I'll show you guys. And it makes such a huge difference having all the proper tools. Like, I feel like this only took like 20-30 minutes to take apart. Drive shaft, all that, like it's been so quick to take everything out that I have the proper tools and all that. But I don't know, I'm just happy about that. But we have to pull the tranny out now. Once the tranny's out, then we can pull the engine out. And I literally just realized I don't think I have a chain to pull the engine. No, I don't. Okay. So this might be a 2-day project. That's alright though. But either way, what we need to do is we need to pull out the tranny. So let's go pull out the tranny. Oh, and I've said this in other videos, but I love the design that Ford did. That all they did is they have two pieces, so one piece is the bell housing, the other is the transmission. So instead of having to get all those difficult bolts up there, it's just 4 bolts right here. 1, 2, and then same on the other side. And then obviously the transmission brace, and then the tranny is out. So I love that is the design there. But enough talk. Oh, I need to go up top and take apart the shifter. And then, yeah, and then it's just, bam, tranny brace, 4 bolts, transmission's out, and then take the wiring harness off. Alright, so the transmission is out, and as you can see the bell housing is still attached to the engine, but if you look at the top, you can kind of see that it's leaking from here. So I wanted to redo this seal and this seal as well, because this is leaking and you can actually see underneath the car where it's been spraying out as it spins. So I want to fix these, and I mean the front seal doesn't look like it's leaking, but might replace that too, just so that the transmission holds out for this season. But yeah, I mean, so far things are going good on tearing down the drive line and pulling the engine out and stuff. And it's just good to know that, like, you know, I've only been at this for like a couple of hours, and the thing's almost ready to be pulled out, which means that pull it out, fix whatever's on it. Maybe, let's say something crazy, it takes 2 weeks to fix the engine or something like that, and then in 1-2 days pop it back in, and theoretically she should be ready to go for the year, hopefully. But that's what I said last year after we rebuilt the engine and just everything went wrong. So hopefully that doesn't happen this year, because this year I really want to do grassroots, just because I want to practice at competition, but I also want to do a lot more fun events, like you know, more mission events, more evergreen events, you know, PAX Acres maybe, like stuff like that. And it would be really cool to be able to do all that with like a reliable car. So yeah, so I just have to pull, I don't have the chain, so we can't pull the engine out today. I'm just going to continue the video on tomorrow, but all I have to do is pull the bell housing off. I think that's it. I think once the bell housing is off, then the engine is ready to be pulled out. So when I come back tomorrow, I'll bring the chain, I'll bring my engine stand, and so that way we can just pull it out, pop it on the engine stand, and then pull that pan off and see what's under there, because that is worrisome. So I'm going to pull that off, but I will continue the video until tomorrow, like I said, so I'll see you guys in about a second here. Alright guys, so we are back. I did not take the bell housing out last time. I decided just to clean up my tools a little bit so that when I come back, we're all set. I know where everything is, so we can get started again. So we gotta take the bell housing off. We have to take the wires for the alternator off so that the wiring harness is out of the way. We gotta take the power, I totally forgot you gotta take the power steering lines off, so we'll take those off, we'll drain the fluid, and then we gotta pull the rad out, and then once that's done, then I think the engine is ready to actually come out. So yeah, we shouldn't have that much work today to do, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Look who showed up to help. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. Okay, so the engine's ready to come out. We got the chain up. Everything's disconnected except the motor mount. Steph showed up to help.
You done?
Wow. Yeah, so they're gonna help me pull it out, and we're gonna pull it out and see what's in the oil pan.
He's okay. Gonna help you. I got wires to bite.
It didn't bend anything.
Okay, so Rome's a fucking idiot, and the engine was like all the way up here on the there, and he loosened it, and it just dropped completely.
I think it hit the pan.
It hit the pan, Rome. Definitely hit the pan.
Well, there's no damage to the pan.
Well, I didn't hit it hard.
It's fucked. It's a complete write-off. We're actually gonna get rid of the entire
Show
car.
them what happened with the flywheel.
Give me flywheel back.
Yeah, so on the other side of the engine, there's a flywheel.
So we found out that it wasn't anything in the engine that broke. I'm missing a tooth here off the flywheel, so that jammed on the starter, and the thing that I thought hit the oil pan hit the bottom of the bell housing. So there wasn't really a need to pull this out.
Somehow in the engine.
But I mean, we did. So
Oh, so you like,
yeah,
yeah.
So we dropped it on the ground for good measure.
yeah, and then we dropped it as.
Something wasn't broken.
No, it's a durability test.
Oh,
That's
right,
how they do
right,
it from the factory.
Well, we gotta
You
make
drop
a
it.
reason for it to be held.
Yeah.
So let's just
Bro,
break
can we
it.
reenact it for the video?
Oh please, yeah.
No, actually.
Oh yeah, so that's everybody left, but engine's out. Found out that the engine doesn't need to be out anymore. It's such a weird thing that broke, but I mean, like, stuff happens, so I'm not too upset about that. So now we can put the car on the ground. I can put this on an engine stand, and then just clean it up, do all the stuff I need to do. Probably rewrap the manifolds. But yeah, that's it. Oh, look at her in the background. Just chilling. Alright, so I'm gonna end the video here because my battery's about to die. But guys, hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace out.